Ron Gerber, CEO of Angelbeat. I'm so excited to be talking with Shiva Raja, one of the top technical solutions architects at HYCU. Now, I was really excited to schedule this interview because just yesterday we saw an announcement that Bain Capital Ventures, one of the world's foremost venture capital investors, committed to spending almost $100 million in supporting the growth of HYCU. I thought it was especially revealing. I wasn't that surprised because I've seen the positive response to their presentations at Angelbeat virtual seminars. But it was a little bit surprising because I know of at least 20 different companies involved in the data protection space. Some people specialize in on-prem data protection. Other people are offering pure cloud native data protection. So maybe Shiva, if you could start this off, what is there that's so unbelievably compelling about the HYCU solution that justifies such a tremendous investment in a industry sector that already has many entrenched companies offering similar, but obviously not as good services and products?
Thank you, Ron. Thank you for having me. So this totally comes down to HYCU's belief in the multi-cloud data protection, data migration, and disaster recovery story. We started back in 2017 with supporting Nutanix's hyperconverged infrastructure, but as time went on, we invested ourselves into public cloud vendors, and we became the go-to native data protection solution for every platform that we support, starting with Nutanix. Now we have the same level of capability for VMware, Google Cloud, and Azure. And the real reason behind our success is our management believing in this vision and delivering the solution, the enterprise class solution and customer service to our customers and our partners. So we really have to thank our customers and partners for making our solution such a great success. And our NPS score, for that matter, speaks for itself. We basically have an NPS score of 91 plus, and this basically accounts to not just the customer service, but the overall customer engagement, which starts with the first call with the BDR to our proof of concept to our to the entire product procurement process, and then the deployment and customer service. So now, it's a combination of all those things.
For all the people out there listening, just to do a quick level set, NPS, a acronym that Angelbeat knows very well, is your net promoter score. What that does is reflect how willing you as a customer of HYCU are willing to recommend HYCU to your colleagues or former business partners. Something that we at Angelbeat live and breathe heavily because we want to make sure that our attendees recommend us to their friends and colleagues.
And it's not easy, by the way.
We live it every day, and that's your very high score is indicative of all the things that we at Angelbeat have seen at our live events. The other thing is it's interesting, and I wonder if this is also driving your growth and your future growth, is we've seen organizations as you're moving from on-prem installations and data storage to now going to the cloud. So you've got a hybrid architecture. And then if you look at your cloud component, you're using multiple cloud providers, as you mentioned, GCP, Azure, and you might be expanding to others. When you've got that complexity, it becomes very difficult to ensure the integrity and protection of your data. You don't want to have multiple data protection solutions. Is that another key driver of your growth, that you can offer a single platform that provides end users with the confidence they need that their data is protected?
Absolutely. I mean, I think you hit the point, Ron, because what HYCU Protege does is it provides you this unified interface of seamlessly protecting your workloads to the cloud. And if in the future our customers would like to qualify their workloads to be cloud ready, they have this ability to seamlessly fail over or even migrate their on-prem workloads to the cloud with none of those technical minutia that is involved beneath the surface, like converting your VMs from one platform to another platform, ensuring that this movement happens in an application consistent manner. Like, all those technical details are totally abstracted by our solution. And on top of it, we do this in the most seamless manner with no additional installs. Like you don't need any agents or plugins or additional installs on the cloud. And this entire movement is harmonious. So
I think it's great because if you go back in the past, before there were solutions like HYCU out there, the CIOs would often require their staff to do backup testing every 3 months, every 6 months, go in there, turn off the server, see if we can recover them. It's the kind of task that every IT director hates to do because it adds no value. It's like quality assurance in manufacturing. And so I would imagine that one of the great things that your customers tell you is, I'm so happy that I don't have to do these testing examples that we never get exactly right. I just know if I use your product and services, it's there, and I can focus on more strategic initiatives.
Exactly. I mean, just to set a context, right? I used to be a database administrator. I'm sorry, a storage administrator.
So you lived and breathed this.
Oh yes, back in 2007, and yes, this is exactly like what you mentioned. The ability to move your data from one platform to another platform has way too many requirements and a checklist of items that you have to ensure that they're met, because if they're not, then it's going to be painful.
That's great. That's really what we like to promote our Angelbeat seminars, is companies that can make our attendees' life easier and allow them to focus on more strategic issues that help their organizations embrace digital transformation and, quite honestly, help them advance in their careers. Another important point, maybe you could comment on this, is how your solution plays in the world of ransomware. Now, I heard from some Angelbeat attendees telling me about one of their friends who didn't make it to a past Angelbeat event. They thought they had an appropriate backup solution in place, but it turns out that someone who was doing the best of work with the best of intentions brought a public or bought a personal USB stick from home, put it on their corporate drive. This is pre-COVID, and infected not just their primary storage, but all the backup. So this person who didn't come to Angelbeat, now they're always coming because they heard that we promote solutions like HYCU. They were really in bad shape because their backups were corrupted and they had no alternative but to pay lots of Bitcoin. And so one of the things that I saw a very positive response from the attendees on was this exact subject, namely that HYCU will ensure that your backups are distinct. So if in the worst case scenario, you do get hit by ransomware because one of your employees, despite all your security provisions, does something foolish, you're recovered, and in a matter of hours, without spending millions of Bitcoin, you lose a few hours of work, but you're back up and running. Is that a fair statement, a fair scenario?
Yes, absolutely. So the way HYCU protects or helps customers to recover from a ransomware attack is basically done in a three-phased approach. Number one, HYCU makes use of the platform's native snapshots to take data consistent backups. These snapshots are inherently immutable, and these snapshots can be stored for an extended period of time, let's say for a week, by using our internal retention setting. And these snapshots can only be used or accessed exclusive by HYCU. These snapshots are not visible to end users, and even if there is a ransomware attack in place, these snapshots would still stay uncorrupted if they were taken at the right time. So you could instantaneously recover from a ransomware attack from those snapshots. And this is exactly what happened with one of our customers when they were hit by a ransomware attack, because their primary was impacted and so was their backups. And these snapshots basically saved the day. Second approach is having an air-gapped solution. What I mean by that is you're isolating your backups from your production environment in a way that if your production is impacted, your backups will still stay in a secured location so that you can instantaneously recover from those ransomware attacks, right? Now, for some reason, that air-gapped infrastructure is breached, the third layer of protection is storing these backups on a worm storage. So the the term worm, which stands for write once, read many, is a hardware level feature that ensures that once data is written onto that worm's worm data storage, that data cannot be modified, it cannot be deleted based on the retention time specified by the administrator. And even the administrator with the most highest privileges won't be able to delete that data, right? So in that regard, your backups will be secured nevertheless when your primary infrastructure is impacted by a ransomware. So HYCU checks all of these three boxes. So you basically have a multi-tiered ransomware protection available by default with our base license. So
that's great. Now, when you look ahead to the future, what are some of the new product announcements that may be on your product roadmap that you can talk about at a future Angelbeat program? Without asking you to disclose anything confidential.
This is going to be a little tricky.
Like, are you expanding on any new applications? Are you trying to back up things like Salesforce or Oracle databases more?
Fair enough.
Or does it matter with that,
Sure.
that you're trying to back up different kinds of data? You know,
Sure.
data is
I can
very
definitely
complex.
talk about certain specific to platforms. So we're basically just a couple of weeks away from announcing full-fledged support to Kubernetes engine running on Google.
Okay.
As you already know, we are the native data protection solution for Google Cloud Platform, supporting GCE and Google Object Storage. In addition to that, we will be able to...
Why don't you just define what GCE stands for, just so no one's confused by that?
Sure. So GCE stands for Google Compute Engine, right?
Okay.
That is where you basically run all of your VMs. Google Cloud basically call them as instances, but they're VMs at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
Then you have the Google Object Storage, which is basically your buckets. We basically make use of Google Object Storage to store your backups of your Google VMs. And we also have the ability to protect your Google objects, right? Now, in addition to that, we will be supporting GKE, the Google Kubernetes engine, where you will be able to discover all of your Kubernetes applications and protect them natively, just like the way you protect your GC. That is like one of the most committed roadmap items that are coming up in the near future. In addition to that, we will be expanding our application support, like supporting Cloud SQL or BigQuery on Google Cloud. Before that, we will also be supporting native Microsoft SQL backups or application-aware backups on Google Cloud and on Azure. So there's going to be a huge investment towards supporting all forms of services and applications on public cloud vendors.
Got it.
I hope I didn't run out of time.
No. Just the way of doing meetings in the virtual world. So I think that's interesting, an exciting array of new solutions coming out there in the HYCU world. And the good thing is, you gave a lot of good teasers. It's like a movie trailer and getting people excited and why they have to keep coming back to our Angelbeat virtual seminars and hopefully live seminars in the future to get the latest announcements when they're ready for public release.
Yeah. Well, thanks to you, because this is the platform where we can actually talk about our solutions. And given the circumstances that we have with COVID-19 and all, I personally have to thank you guys for making this session more interactive and more personal, and trying to make things better.
We think this is very, very exciting. One of the things that we try and do at Angelbeat is uncover these new and innovative companies who we feel have been validated in the marketplace, who fall, somewhat between an unproven startup and like a Google that's already proven. There's a wealth of companies in this enterprise software cloud space that are emerging. And, it's a great testament to the employees of HYCU that you're able to get another $100 million financing round. I think it's 90 million or 88, but I mean,
87.5 million.
It's a lot of money that's going to support a lot of growth and must be very exciting times. Well, thank you very much, Shiva and the HYCU team. We look forward to hearing about new announcements at our future events. Remember, if you've got questions about HYCU, you go to hycu.com, which why don't you explain what that acronym stands for so everyone
Hybrid cloud
understands?
uptime.
Yeah, so everyone's got an acronym. Angelbeat doesn't have an acronym. It's just those 9 letters.
It's Angelbeat.
But yep, just nice and simple, those 9 letters. But make sure you continue to follow us. We'll have lots of updates. And thank you very much. And stay safe and healthy. And take your vaccine when it's your turn.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for having
All right,
me.
bye-bye now.